That'll do, human. You put on quite a good show. That was more than I could have asked for. Now, hold still while I work my magic. This human form makes spellcasting so clumsy. How's that? Respite from this biting wind, just for you. How am I doing that? Put two and two together, dear. I'm a snow spirit. As naturally as I excite the air to create this powerful snowstorm, so too does the power to calm the air just before it reaches your skin. A simple party trick for me, but for you, it's currently the difference between life and death. In other words, you found yourself completely at the mercy of my whim. You may not know this, human, but that is a very precarious place to find yourself. Now, if I may ask a question, pitiable little human, what were you doing out here in the middle of my snowstorm? I didn't expect a single living soul would be out here, not with the show I'm putting on today. All the delicate fauna that inhabit this forest had the good sense to seek shelter the moment I began my grand exhibition. Except for you. I thought, oh, a silly human has been caught off guard by my snowstorm. No matter, I'm sure they're making their way towards some form of shelter or another. Even the squirrels know to hide once the wind picks up this time of year. But you didn't seek shelter. You kept marching towards the forest. My forest. My canvas. During my snowstorm. So I ask you again, human, what possessed you to behave dumber than a squirrel and go out during my snowstorm? You were looking for someone. A friend from your village. They were gathering berries in an effort to keep the village fed throughout the winter. Preposterous. The nearest village is miles away from here. Why would they travel this far and so late into the year just for... The storms killed off most of your crops, so you've had to forage deeper and deeper into the woods to make up for it? Even despite the unusually harsh storms this year? Well, human, I can't help but point out those are my storms you're talking about. I won't have your little sob story ruining my fun. Though, I can tell you one thing. The cold hasn't taken your little friend. At least not yet. They're still alive. How do I know? Because they're not with me. When a human, such as yourself, succumbs to the awesome might of my wintry display, their soul is tethered to my being for the rest of time. Or so I thought. Apparently, souls kind of wear out. What do I mean? They stop looking and acting like humans, eventually. The burdens of your daily life shape you now, and in death, the memories of those burdens continue to give you shape, at least for a while. As decades come and go, your memories fade away, and with them, your human form. In time, you'll become nothing but a cloud of sparkling air, forever tethered to my being. Yes, that's the reason I appear to be faintly glowing. Soul dust, no big deal. In any case, your little friend's soul hasn't been tethered to my being, so they haven't succumbed to my wrath. Good for them. That being said, there's no telling whether some other force has taken their soul at this point. I should know better than anyone. There's no shortage of ways to meet your end in my forest. My storms, together with the poisonous plants that thrive in these conditions, and the desperate, hungry wildlife looking for their next meal come together to create a beautiful landscape of untimely death. The purest expression of art one could hope for. Now, away with you. You've interrupted my performance for long enough. That was your subtle clue to leave, human. Don't worry. The aura of protection should last you long enough to get home safely, if you just... Oh, you look angry. Angry at me. Oh, you're positively glowing with anger. What's the matter? Are you unamused by my handiwork? Do you wish to take revenge for all the hardship I've caused? It's been so long since a human was foolish enough to pick a fight with me, to look me dead in the eyes and challenge the very essence of death, of decay, of finality and stillness. I am the white end human, and you will feel my sting as your ancestors have for ages before you. Oh, right. The aura of protection. Well, it's going to be another few minutes before I can conjure up another gust like that. Let's talk. Yes, talk. It's not like you could hurt me anyway. Look, go ahead and swing as hard as you'd like. I won't move a bit. See, you go right through me. I barely exist in this form, especially in recent years. What do I mean? Well, human, I can only take on this form as long as I possess the souls of, well, humans. And like I said, they don't hold their shape forever. With the recent advancements of such things as your shelters, your clothing, and, the advent of industrialism, it's been a while since I've directly captured the soul of any single human. I thought it would finally be my lucky day when I saw you running into my forest as the storm picked up. But then I heard you yelling. You were calling someone's name. I'm not sure why, but that made me want to keep watching you. I think I wanted to see how far you would go for someone else's sake. A friend, was it? Not even a lover, a spouse, a cute girl from one village over you were trying to impress? Just a friend? And you all but threw your life away for them the moment you thought they were caught in my storm. Best not to tell them I saw their friend heading back home an hour ago. That intrigues me, human. It puts all sorts of ideas into my head. How much of my storm are you willing to withstand if I tell you it's for the sake of others? I have a proposition for you, human. Why don't you stay here with me? Not for nothing, mind you. I remember what you said about your village, how my handiwork has caused them to suffer during this difficult time of year. If you stay with me, human, willingly, I will spare your village from any more storms this season. Why willingly? Because, human, a soul that willingly surrenders itself to me retains its earthly form much better than one I take by force. Speaking of which, sorry for trying to kill you just a moment ago. I lost my temper. If you must know, I've been lonely, human. I've been lonely for a long time. Things have changed. You've all become so much better at dealing with my antics. What used to be somberly remembered as the storm of the century doesn't even make it onto the morning paper anymore. Frankly, it makes me feel useless, more akin to a child throwing a tantrum than a powerful spirit wreaking havoc on lesser beings. Only now, through this unholy blizzard you've found yourself in today, have I finally found a victim. Yes, unholy, even by my standards. A storm of this nature loses its charm, if you must know. It may not come across this way to your mortal sensibilities, but there really is a great deal of artistry that goes into my creation. The storm I created today is something like... Oh, I have just the analogy. It's like throwing buckets of paint at a wall. No rhyme or reason. No thought given to which color to use, or even exactly where on the wall you'd wish to splatter that paint. No. The storms I've created this season are something like the work of a blind fool throwing every bucket he can find at a wall and hoping for the best. But somehow, I still managed to capture you. I suppose even great spirits aren't above the whims of the goddess Fortuna. In any case, human, I've made my proposition. What do you say? Stay with me, and I will have no more need to ravage this place with my storms. Or choose to leave and watch helplessly as I turn your village into a frozen wasteland. All it would cost to keep your little village friends alive is your soul. What's wrong, human? Don't you want to protect your village? Think of how much they would all have to endure. How many nights they would go to bed hungry. How many days would be spent huddled around their dwindling supply of firewood until they meet their inevitable end. But you could spare them from it all. You could help them survive this cruel, bitter season. All you would have to do is give yourself to me. Surrender your very essence to one far greater than yourself. Forget the name of your lost friend. Forget the names of those sad, hungry people. They inhabit their world. And now you inhabit mine. What's wrong, human? Don't you support gay rights?